Have you ever caught yourself doing strange things, but can't explain why? You close the door, and a minute later you come back to check. You reread the text message 10 times to avoid sounding rude. You say everything's fine, when it feels like someone is screaming inside. It seems like these are just habits, little things, but sometimes they're alarm signals your brain sends when it can't cope anymore. It doesn't speak with words. It speaks with actions. Modern life teaches us to be functional, to work, to smile, to be in service. And anything that doesn't fit into this picture, we call it oddity. But these oddities aren't a system bug. They're a message. Today I'll tell you about 5 habits that seem harmless, but are actually an SOS from your brain. At night, when everyone else is asleep, you lie with your eyes open, and your brain plays an old movie. That conversation in the kitchen, that awkward pause, that I should have answered differently. You return to it again and again, as if you could rewrite the scene. It's not just a memory. It's rumination, an obsessive return to the past. Your brain seeks control in a situation where it no longer exists. It can't accept that nothing can be changed, so it keeps playing out the scenario until you burn yourself out. The problem is that the past can't be rewritten, but the brain still holds the remote. You text a friend, and they don't respond. 5 minutes pass, 10, an hour, and then the movie starts. He was offended. I said something wrong. He doesn't want to talk to me anymore. I lost him. This is catastrophizing, anxiety masquerading as logic. Your brain tries to protect you by predicting the worst. Because if you're prepared for a disaster, it seems less scary. But in reality, you're simply living in a horror movie, where every scene is a threat, even if nothing happens on screen. A friend tells you their pet died. You nod, say, "I'm so sorry," but inside, there's silence, emptiness. You look at the sunset you once loved, and feel nothing. You hear laughter, but it seems to be coming through glass. This is emotional numbness. Your brain shuts down your senses to protect you from pain. But by shutting down the pain, it extinguishes everything else. You become an observer of your life. It moves on, and you stand aside. You do everything perfectly. You respond politely. You don't argue. You help even when you don't want to. When someone says, "You're great," it warms you up. And when someone frowns, it's as if the world is collapsing. You think you're just being kind, but really, it's the fear of rejection. Your brain has learned that being disapproved of hurts. So now you live to earn a smile. Any dissatisfied sounds like you're bad. Any criticism is an existential threat. You become a hostage to someone else's mood. And the worst thing is, you forget what you want yourself. There's a menu in front of you. 50 movies, 100 options, 1,000 roads. And you freeze. What if I choose the wrong one? What if I regret it later? What if I make a mistake? This is choice paralysis. The brain fears regret more than the mistake itself. It wants the perfect option to avoid pain. But in trying not to make a mistake, you're simply not living. You're stuck between must and want, between can and scared. If you recognize yourself in even one of these habits, it's not weakness, it's fatigue. Your brain isn't broken. It's simply doing everything it can to protect you. Sometimes too much. The problem isn't you. The problem is that we've become accustomed to not listening to ourselves. We see the symptoms and call them character, but the body and mind always warn. They just do it quietly. So if you feel anxiety rumbling inside, don't suppress it. Listen, because it's not weakness. It's a cry for help from you yourself.